Today, we're diving into the latest stories across the tech, EV, and Tesla worlds, and there's a lot to unpack. From geo-dropping efficiency numbers coming out of Tesla's standard Model Y, to an intriguing new piece of automotive display, technology out of China, to ongoing conversations around Tesla hardware updates, and broader tech industry shifts. This is one of those updates that really shows how fast everything is moving right now. So let's jump straight into it and break down what's going on, why it matters, and what it could mean going forward. Across the entire tech landscape, innovation feels nonstop. Every week, there's something new that looks like it belongs. 5 or 10 years in the future, and lately a lot of that innovation has been coming out of China. One example that's been making the rounds recently comes from BO, a major display manufacturer which showcased a new type of foldable automotive display. Unlike traditional fixed screens that are permanently mounted into the dashboard, these displays can actually fold away completely when they're not needed. When deployed, they unfold and lie flat, giving passengers a full, usable screen. When stowed, they disappear almost entirely from view. Seeing this kind of technology in action is undeniably cool. There's something very futuristic about a screen that can materialize when you want it and vanish when you don't. From a design perspective, it opens up a lot of possibilities for cleaner interiors and more flexible cabin layouts. You can imagine a scenario where a passenger doesn't want a screen visible most of the time, but then decides to watch a video, browse the web, or interact with navigation or entertainment controls, instead of having a screen constantly taking up space. It simply appears when needed and then retracts again. At the same time, it's one of those technologies that naturally raises questions. Anytime you add moving parts, especially something as thin and delicate as a display panel, durability becomes a concern. People immediately wonder how this will hold up over years of daily use, temperature changes, vibrations from driving, and the general wear and tear that vehicles experience. There's also the practical question of necessity. Is this something drivers and passengers truly need? Or is it more of a because we can feature that exists mainly to show off what's possible? Still, as a proof of concept, it's impressive. It shows how far display technology has come and hints at where automotive interiors could be heading. As the tech matures, becomes cheaper, and proves itself in real-world conditions, we'll likely see variations of this idea showing up in production vehicles. Even if this exact implementation doesn't become mainstream, the underlying concept of adaptable, disappearing tech inside cars feels very much in line with where the industry is going. Shifting gears over to Tesla, one of the biggest talking points lately has been the efficiency of the standard rear-wheel drive Model Y. Efficiency is something Tesla has always emphasized, but the numbers coming out of recent testing are turning heads even among seasoned EV enthusiasts. According to Kyle Connor from Out of Spec, the efficiency of the new standard Model Y is genuinely insane, to the point where it's outperforming vehicles that many people would expect to be more efficient. The specific vehicle tested was the new rear-wheel drive standard Model Y, which starts at around $40,000. This version uses a 69.5 kilowatt usable battery pack and carries an EPA estimated range of 321 miles. On paper, those numbers already look solid for a compact crossover. But what really matters is how the car performs in real-world conditions, especially at highway speeds where EV efficiency often drops off. For their testing, Out of Spec use a consistent and well-controlled methodology. They conducted a highway range test at a steady 70 miles per hour, which is a realistic cruising speed for many drivers. The route was a loop, chosen specifically to minimize the effects of wind and elevation changes, which can skew results. Climate control was set between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, ensuring the cabin was comfortable without excessive energy draw. The battery was fully heated, and the car was charged all the way to 100%. Stopping only once the power draw indicated that the pack was completely full. Under these conditions, the results were remarkable. In some mixed driving tests, such as one conducted by Edmunds, this Model Y managed to achieve as much as 337 miles of range. That's already impressive for a vehicle of this size. But the highway focus test is where things really stood out. At a constant 70 miles per hour, The Model Y achieved efficiency figures in the range of 4.1 to 4.2 miles per kilowatt-hour. To put that into perspective, those numbers are exceptional for a compact crossover. Vehicles in this class typically sacrifice some efficiency due to their shape, weight, and ride height compared to smaller sedans. Yet here we have a Model Y that's not only highly efficient for its segment, but in this specific configuration actually beat the efficiency of the standard Model 3 in testing. That's not something most people would have predicted. A big part of this efficiency gain is being attributed to Tesla's new motor design. Tesla has been quietly iterating on its drivetrain technology for years, refining everything from motor architecture to power electronics to thermal management. These changes don't always get flashy announcements, but over time, they add up. 2 meaningful real-world improvements. In this case, the new motor appears to be delivering better efficiency without compromising performance in a way that drivers would notice negatively. Another important detail is that the test ran the battery all the way down to 0% usable range. While most drivers wouldn't actually do this in everyday use, it provides a clear picture of the vehicle's full capability and ensures that the efficiency calculations are as accurate as possible. It also highlights how confident Tesla is in its battery management systems, allowing testers to safely use the full usable capacity of the pack. What makes this especially interesting is how it fits into the broader context of EV adoption. Efficiency directly translates into lower running costs, less frequent charging, and a better overall ownership experience. For people who may not have easy access to home charging or who regularly drive long distances, an efficient vehicle can make a huge difference. Achieving over 4 miles per kilowatt-hour at highway speeds in a crossover is a strong argument in favor of Tesla's engineering approach. Beyond the Model Y itself, this kind of efficiency also has implications for future Tesla vehicles. Many of the lessons learned here, particularly around motor design and system optimization, can be carried over to other models. As Tesla continues to push toward more affordable vehicles and higher production volumes, efficiency becomes even more critical. Every gain means smaller batteries can go further, which helps reduce costs and resource usage. At the same time, Tesla has been dealing with broader conversations around hardware and software support, particularly for owners of vehicles equipped with hardware. 3. There's been ongoing debate about how Tesla will handle upgrades and feature parity as newer hardware versions roll out. For many owners, the key question is whether their existing vehicles will continue to receive meaningful updates and improvements, or if they'll be left behind as the platform evolves. Tesla has recently taken steps that some see as an effort to redeem themselves with Hardware 3 vehicles, ensuring that owners still see value and progress even as newer hardware comes online. This is an important issue because Tesla's brand is built not just on the cars themselves, but on the promise that those cars will improve over time through software updates. Maintaining trust in that promise is crucial. There's also a broader tech conversation happening right now that extends beyond cars. The mention of ads coming to ChatGPT, for example, highlights how rapidly AI-driven platforms are evolving and becoming more integrated into everyday life. As these tools grow in scale and capability, questions around monetization, user experience, and long-term sustainability naturally follow. It's another reminder that we're living in a period where technology across multiple industries is advancing at an extraordinary pace, often intersecting in unexpected ways. Taken together, all of these stories paint a picture of an industry in constant motion. On one hand, you have experimental concepts like foldable automotive displays that hint at what the future could look like. On the other, you have very tangible, measurable improvements like the Model Y's efficiency gains that directly impact drivers today. Layered on top of that are ongoing discussions about hardware support, software updates, and the role of AI in digital platforms in our lives. What's especially interesting is how these threads connect. Advances in manufacturing, materials, software, and energy efficiency don't happen in isolation. Improvements in one area often enable progress in another. A more efficient motor allows for a smaller battery, Smaller battery reduces weight and cost. Lower costs make EVs more accessible, which accelerates adoption. Meanwhile, advances in displays, interfaces, and AI shape how people interact with their vehicles and the technology around them. As we move forward, it's likely that we'll continue to see this kind of rapid iteration. Vehicles will get more efficient, interiors will become more adaptable and tech-driven, and software will play an even larger role in defining the ownership experience. Not every experimental feature will become a must-have, and not every innovation will.